Hey, it's Leighton from Just Collect, and I'm here with Bill and his lovely wife, who are in from Pennsylvania today. And they decided to take the trip up here after researching us and his baseball card collection for, I would say, several years, if I'm describing it accurately.
About 60.
Yeah. So we're going to let Bill kind of take over in a minute. But I just wanted to say, first and foremost, I've had such a wonderful time getting to know both you and your lovely wife. And even as I sit here now, I'm getting goosebumps. I can only hope one day that all of my friends and their significant others are as much in love as both of you are, you lovebirds today. And so I've had a wonderful afternoon with you. We're going to get right down to business here. So Bill, if you could do us a favor and just paint a picture, when and where did you start collecting these thousands of vintage cards from the 50s and 60s that you brought up to our offices here in New Jersey today?
Well, I was about 9 years old, which that would have been 1955. I was 9, and we had a neighborhood, and we used to collect cards, and then we would pitch them against the wall and knock them down, and I won some big pots and probably lost some big pots, but when I won them, I saved them, and my mother never threw them away. And the older I got, they were laying around, and I moved around the country a lot, but I always took them with me. And I remember the 58s, 59s, and I just, to this day, I'm interested in all of it, but a lot of the older ones that were played with and not treasured like they are now. I mean, if I had had a 52 Mickey Mantle, I would have, put it in a safe deposit box or something. But, we played with them. We had fun with 3 or 4 of us in the neighborhood, got together, and they also had some older cards that, even though we were 9 and that was in the 50s, one of the guys had, I guess his dad got them somewhere, they were 40s, and we thought that was really good because they were older cards and they were stuff we hadn't really seen.
And there was no eBay.
No, and you couldn't buy for 5 cents a pack.
Sure.
So we bought our share of 5 cents a pack, and my wife Toni was just saying how much do you think you spent on 5 cents a pack? I said, I don't know, maybe if it was a couple $100, it was a lot, because every time you got a nickel, you ran and got a pack, and we'd trade them and things. And it wasn't until later on that I realized how much they could be worth.
Sure.
And so, that's how I got into it, and I still look at the statistics today and everything, and I'm at my age, I'm probably not going to be collecting anymore, but
I can appreciate that. One of the things I wanted to touch upon, which I really enjoyed when you shared the story, was you said that when you were a kid, there was a time in your neighborhood when you remember winning such a big group, or a pot as you called it, so big that you went home and you told your mother that you needed a bag. And I think you said that she gave you a bag. You're like, no, Mom, I need a bigger bag.
Yeah, it was a shopping bag.
Tell us about, how many cards do you think were in this pile that day?
I think there was at least 5,000 cards because we kept on raking them. Once they got so high that you couldn't knock that card down, we raked them away, and then we kept. And even some of the time we take a card and we'd wax it, so that it was really hard.
Like a spitball?
Yeah, well, yeah, kind of, because a waxed card you could hit it and it would
be harder.
It would knock the cards down easier. Of course, then you went to cards, so we didn't have whatever. When it was really important, we'd whip out the waxed card and try to knock them down. And I think there were 5 of us pitching, and I fortunately won. And then I had to go about 7, 8 houses down, and I told my buddy, I said, just hang on, I'm going to go down. And then my mother gave me a couple more bags, but it still wasn't enough. I think I made 2 trips, and I had about 5 bags of, 5,000 cards, and I took them home. And I didn't look at them for a while, but they were still.
They were there.
They were there.
So Toni, did you know that your lovely husband was such a ringer? I mean, that's incredible, the way you described not just the flipping itself, but there was actually a strategy to it.
Well, yeah, when you started, when the first one came out with a waxed card, you're like, hey, that's a good idea. And then we started
waxing them up.
Yep. And I didn't bring any of those in, but I have a couple of them at home that they're not really worth anything, except to me as a memento that was.
Sure, a little nostalgia.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Bill is always a winner.
I believe that.
If you have something that you can bet on, I can bet on it. Nothing will happen. And in the end, say, well, I'll just try something. Bingo.
So next time I'm going to bet on a sports game, I think I'm going to call Bill first and place the action on whatever you select.
There'll be a charge for that.
Yeah, there'll be.
I figured. I see how you guys operate. You're an accountant. I understand.
There'd be about a 20%.
Yeah. No, I understand. I'm curious. All these decades have now passed, and you have these cards go from one location to another.
Mm-hmm.
So my first question for you, Toni, is: did you think Bill was crazy? You didn't.
Because I did. Well, the thing about it is, I found after we were married, he doesn't hoard anything. He just keeps everything. But that is his family. In fact, when we got married, they gave us boxes, and one of his toys were in there, his teddy bear, and one had his.
Mother didn't throw anything away.
Mother had his first teeth in the box, but I had to do away with them because they were moldy.
I didn't even realize that. I forgot about that.
My mother kept my baby shoes, all sorts of weird, wacky stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, baby shoes. Now, baby shoes, you usually, when the child gets older, past the teenage years, and then you give it to them. And say, these are your baby shoes, and they're all haunted.
Yeah, I think my mother did something like that. I still remember thinking it was really weird. I'm curious out there, any of you who are watching this, did your mother or father keep just the most random miscellaneous stuff? And if so, let us know in the comments if your mother kept your baby shoes or your first tooth. I would love to know. But all the joking aside, I've had such a wonderful afternoon with you. I'm really glad that we met in person. One of the things that I wanted to cover really at the end was, how'd you find our company?
When I decided I'm going to sell my collection, because I've had it for all these years, and we're getting pretty old, and the proverbial bucket that we're going to kick is coming up here. Hopefully not
for decades.
But it's something to get rid of, and no one in the family collects or anything. So I looked on the internet. I always went to the PSA website because that's how I found out what the values were and everything. And I was looking, and Just Collect came up, and I looked at you put down your pictures of yourself, your biographies, and because I know there has to be, some unscrupulous people out there, and I didn't want to do that, and I was in driving distance from Lancaster, Pennsylvania to here, so rather than sending them and then wondering what happened to them, I thought it'd be a lot better to come in and talk to you, and I really appreciate it because you're more than fair, and I really had a good time today.
So did I.
If I had more cards, I'd come back tomorrow, but I don't have it.
He told me that he had found you. And I said, well, are you sending him cards? And he sent me some pictures, I think.
Yes.
And then he said, no, we're going to we'll go and see him. And I think he's a really good guy.
And then she said to me,
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
She said to me, do you really want to get rid of them? I said, well, in a way I don't. You could, I could take them with me, but I would rather not. And somebody else can enjoy these as much as I did, collectors who want to buy them and everything, and you got a lot of work here getting them set up for somebody to buy. So I know that, you got a business to run, and I think you do a great job, and I appreciate dealing with you.
So do I. Normally I would just shake hands, but I'm going to ask you to stand up. I'm going to give both of you a hug.
Oh.
Because really, I had such a wonderful time. Toni, you need a hand?
No,
Oh, okay.
walk this way.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, we're old.
That's okay. We're all getting there one day at a time. Toni, it's such a pleasure to meet you. I had a great time with both of you. This is Leighton signing off from Just Collect. I hope you enjoyed today's story.